The canine chorus, why dogs howl. Howling, a dog's way of talking. First off, let's talk about why dogs howl in the first place. Howling is something dogs do when they need to communicate. It's a non-specific behavior, which means that it can be triggered by a bunch of different things. Imagine how many times you might shout or scream in different situations, like when you're excited, upset, or even when you just want to get someone's attention. It's kind of like that for dogs, but their version of shouting is a howl. Dogs can howl when they're feeling distress, when they're excited, or when they're trying to get the attention of another dog, or even you. They might howl because they're lonely or because they're trying to warn someone, just like how you might yell, "Stop!" to warn a friend about a muddy puddle. A dog might howl to let other animals know, "This is my turf." Let's dive a little deeper into why dogs howl and what it means. Howling for help or attention. One reason dogs howl is to communicate that they need help or attention. If a dog is in distress, like if it's stuck somewhere or can't get to its owner, it might howl as a way of asking for help. Think about it. If you're locked out of your house, you might shout or knock on the door to get someone's attention. Dogs don't have those options, so they use their voices to make sure someone knows they need help. Sometimes, dogs will howl just to get attention. If your dog is left alone at home and howls when you leave, it might be because they're feeling lonely. They're essentially saying, "Where'd you go? I miss you." This is especially true if your dog has bonded closely with you and sees you as part of their pack. Howling for territory. Dogs can also howl to protect their territory. Just like how humans might put up signs or yell at someone who's too close to their stuff, a dog's howl can serve as a warning. If your dog hears another dog nearby, it might start howling to let that dog know, "Stay away! This is my space." Think of it like this. Imagine a wolf in the wild who hears another pack of wolves nearby. They might start howling as a way of warning those wolves that this is their territory. They might even be signaling that they're ready to fight if necessary. While your dog may not be facing any wild wolf pack, their instinct to protect their space is still strong. Have you ever noticed that dogs seem to love howling along with sirens? If you've ever had your dog join in when a fire truck or ambulance drives by with its siren blaring, you're not alone. This phenomenon has been observed in many dogs. Why does it happen? Dogs may howl in response to high-pitched sounds like sirens. These sounds might remind them of the noises that wild wolves and dogs would hear in nature, such as calls to other pack members or the sounds of animals in distress. So, when your dog hears a siren, their natural instincts could kick in, causing them to join in with their own howling. It's almost like they're trying to communicate with the sound they're hearing. Now let's go way back in time to understand why dogs howl. The howl is part of a communication system that dates all the way back to the wolf ancestors of today's domesticated dogs. Wolves, like wild dogs, rely heavily on howling to communicate with each other. Wolves use howls to signal to other pack members or to warn rival packs to stay away. If two wolf packs are facing off, one pack might let out a long howl to show their strength and readiness to fight. On a gentler note, wolves also use howls to reunite with lost pack members. Imagine you're a wolf separated from your group. If you howl, the other members of your pack will hear you and come find you. This howling is like a beacon, guiding them to you so you can be reunited. Now think about your dog. When your dog howls, it's possible they're tapping into this ancient communication tool. The sad howl you hear when you leave the house might be their way of saying, "Come back! I'm lonely!" They're trying to use the same skills that their wild cousins would use to call their pack back together. Here's another fun fact. Sometimes dogs howl just because it's fun. For some dogs, howling is just like singing in the shower. It feels good, and they enjoy the sound of their own voice. Ever caught your dog howling at the moon, or when the neighbor's dog starts singing? They could be joining in for fun, just like you might belt out a song when you're in a good mood. Maybe they're not really trying to communicate anything, they're just having a good time. Dogs might also howl with other dogs to establish bonds or just to socialize. In the wild, wolves howl to stay in touch with their pack, and it's possible that dogs still have this instinct. So when they hear another dog howling, they might join in as part of a fun social activity. So, now we know that dogs howl for many different reasons. But how exactly do they use howling to communicate? Well, it depends on the situation and what's going on around them. Here's how to break it down. To call for help or attention. If your dog is in distress, like if they're left alone or stuck somewhere, they may howl to get your attention. To protect their territory. If another dog is nearby, your dog might howl as a way of saying, "This is my space, stay away." To join in with sirens or other sounds. Some dogs howl when they hear high-pitched sounds, like sirens, as a way of responding to the noise. To communicate with other dogs. Dogs might howl to talk to other dogs, whether it's to say hello, I'm here, or to mark their territory. So the next time you hear your dog howling, whether it's in the middle of the night or in the backyard, don't just think it's random noise. It's actually a pretty clever way for dogs to communicate. Whether they're expressing distress, warning other animals, or just having fun, howling is an important part of how dogs interact with the world around them. Dogs howl because they're continuing the ancient traditions of their wild ancestors, the wolves, and because they're trying to tell us, and other dogs, something important. So when you hear your dogs howl, you'll know that it's more than just a funny sound. It's a way for them to express themselves, just like humans shout or sing to communicate. It's a canine chorus, and it's all part of your dog's wild, wonderful world. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more to come.